就这样。 Hi, everyone. Welcome to our little special edition Team Phoenix call. I think I have everyone muted on my end, but if you wouldn't mind, just make sure that your line is muted just so that we don't have any feedback or noise in the background. We're obviously going to give Autumn a chance to, she's just finishing up her live workout, a little obsessed, so she might be rolling in here a little bit late. But I just wanted to welcome everyone here. This is a little bit different to open up our team call to people outside of our coaching team. Jen McNeil and I are kind of co-hosting this call. She's a coach on my team. And this is, but we really wanted to give you guys some of the inside info, and Autumn was totally open to it, opening this up to customers and any of our challengers who have questions about, not a little obsessed, 80-day obsession. So I hope that you get some value here. Please feel free to use the chat window. I don't know, how much time we'll be able to to spend on answering questions, but I'll be sure to direct Autumn to any of those that I feel like really we could all benefit from. So go ahead and share any questions you might have right now. I see lots of you are doing a little obsessed. Awesome. So what was I going to say? Number one, there are going to be some awesome challenge pack options that I want you guys to be considering, or not just challenge pack bundle options that I want you guys to be considering, because they are offering some really awesome deals on the performance line that we've never had before. And I'm a huge fan of the performance line, but I think it's can be a little bit scary to try some of these performance products, and they're going to be offering them at discounts in December 14th. I think Jen would agree with me that the performance line for this program specifically has been more needed than any other program that we've ever done. It's definitely more challenging. It's definitely requiring and demanding more of you than a lot of the programs that we've committed to. So I want you to kind of put that on your radar, maybe for your Christmas list. For those of you you're already committed to doing this program in January when it comes out. I want to say January 15th. If anybody wants to confirm that for me. Stacia asks which performance items are vegan. The performance items that are vegan for sure are Hydrate and Energize. I know Recharge and Recover are whey-based, and I think creatine is not vegan. So currently those are the options, but I definitely use both of those every day. Almost every day. Definitely Energize every day, sometimes 2 scoops, and almost every day for the Hydrate. I never used that one that much because I didn't think I would need it, but you're really exerting yourself in an amazing way.
I don't know, I think if you're a big sweater too, like I sweat like crazy throughout that program. What I would do is I would take my Energize a half an hour before the workout, and then I can only handle about 2/3 a scoop. I know different people are different with that, but I get a lot of the tingling feelings pretty quickly. So half an hour before I would do 2/3 a scoop of Energize, and then during the workout, I would do another like half scoop mixed with Hydrate, like a little cocktail. And I think it helped. So.
Awesome. Thanks for sharing, Jen. Okay, it looks like Autumn is here. So let me just go ahead and introduce Autumn. She is the creator of 80-Day Obsession and A Little Obsessed that a lot of you have been sampling. And Jen and I we had the honor and privilege of being chosen to be in their exclusive coach test group, and we've had tremendous results, and we're excited to share this time with Autumn, and we're honored and privileged that she would share this time with us. So thank you so much, Autumn, for spending time with our team and our connections who are really excited to learn more about this program. I'll go ahead and let you take it away, but I think the first question that I would ask is why this program? Why would why did Beachbody, why did you, how did it come about that we would launch a program that is 80 days and is 80 different workouts with the periodization and the time nutrition? Like, where did this come from, and who is this program for?
Hi, so first of all, thanks for having me on. Let me just ask you guys one really quick question. Do I have a call full of coaches, or do I have coaches and challengers, or just so I know who I'm sort of speaking to?
Yeah, good question. It's coaches and challengers.
Okay, perfect. Good to know. Okay, so 80-day obsession, sort of the framework, the very, very basic concept came from Carl. And actually the idea has been there for a while, a couple of years. And it actually came about before Country Heat. We sort of debated which program to do first. And obviously we went with Country Heat, and then we moved on to 80-day, what is now 80-day obsession. But it started really as just Carl said, I want a butt and abs program. Like, that's what people like. They focus on the booty, they focus on the abs. And that was it. That was the direction I was given. And I was like, great, that's fantastic. This is going to be a well-rounded program, right? And he's like, yes, of course. And I said, okay, great. Like, can I run with this? You know, and he's always very good about giving me a lot of leeway to sort of explore and create what I wanted to create. And for me, there was a lot that came into play when I sat down to really decide, like, what did I want to bring to the catalog next? What did I want to bring to everybody? What did I want to show them and teach them? And for me, it wasn't just like, here, let's build a butt because we all like to have a nice firm lifted butt, or hey, let's have shredded abs. Those are great sort of side effects. But for me, there's always a little bit more science behind what and why. Why do we want a firm toned butt? And that goes into the mechanics of your body and how your body works, and the fact that, you know, we spend so many hours a day sitting on our butt, literally, and those muscles don't fire the way they're supposed to anymore. And when they don't fire the way they're supposed to, because they're sort of turned off from sitting and not being used properly, it leads to other injuries. It leads to a lot of back injuries. Sometimes we end up with more of a distended core, distended abdominal region, which people don't really stop to think about. But when you sit down, you're not holding your stomach in like you should be, where posture sort of goes to heck and nothing's firing. So when I started creating the program, I was like, this has to be incredibly functional. That's my goal as the trainer. The physique, the way your body will look, that outcome, that'll be there. But I'm worried about how your body functions. The next thing I was sort of taking into consideration was my own personal age, and the fact that I was 36 and would be filming this program when I was 37. And I was like, heavy weights are great. And you guys know I'm a big fan of heavy weights. Like, I think it's important. The older we get, the more muscle we lose. So building muscle is really important for our health. It helps us burn more calories. But at the same time, I didn't want to train the way I was training for competitions 4 years ago, where I would have to work out at a gym because I needed weights that were bigger than the ones I had at home. I needed a squat rack because I was putting 110 pounds on my back to squat. I was like, this can't be the only way to build your butt, because first of all, I wasn't even pleased with the way I built, like the way my outcome was. Like, it was the one thing when I would step on stage at competition that was supposed to be the most important for us women, taking the stage in a bikini competition. And all the stuff my coaches would take me through never got my butt to where it should have been to step on that stage. And I was like, we're missing something. And you see all these things on social media, do the squat challenge, do the lunge challenge, and blah, blah, blah. And as a trainer, it's my own fault because I can get sucked into that stuff just as quickly as anybody else. And I paused and I was like, that's actually not accurate. Your glutes are an assister muscle when you do a squat or when you do a lunge, but it's not the prime mover. And we need to work the prime mover more. And the way to do that is with what we call hip flexion and extension. So basically, like, going from your hip being bent to your hip being straight. So all these things came into play. And I say this so that you guys understand why you see really basic moves in phase one, or you see really basic moves in A Little Obsessed where we're doing like glute bridges and things like that to start a workout off, because that's a great way to get your muscles firing. So when I decided on the equipment of the program, I knew we were going to definitely use weights, obviously still very important, but that's why I put the loops and the slides in the program, because it allows me the ability to work these muscles in ways that you just can't do with just dumbbells, and to challenge people, but to challenge them without stressing out our joints more, which is also great because like we've already done that. I gave you guys Fix Extreme and I gave you guys Hammer and Chisel. And so we have that. Let's do something else. And so that's sort of why the loops came into play, the sliders came into play. And like I said, we do still have weights because I do think building lean muscle is very important. It's how we burn calories. And And that's where it started. And I went to work developing, and I really did spend a year sort of refining, writing workouts. I had to write 6 different workouts for each phase, and there's 3 phases. So that's 18 different workouts, and they have to build on each other. So again, it all goes back into my science background of everything that I learned through all my certifications and all my years of training. This is not just throw moves at a workout. It was like a lot of sitting down, and it's building blocks. That's what I do as a trainer. And I sit there and I go, okay, well, we're here and I need to get to here. What do I want to do in the interim? How am I going to build? How am I going to start with a basic movement pattern so that everybody understands it? Nobody gets injured while doing it, so that I can get them to a more advanced movement pattern over here where we're working multiple muscle groups. So we're burning more calories, we're chiseling out by the end, all those kinds of things. That takes a lot of time, believe it or not, to write 16 workouts that flow, that work synergistically together and get us to that point. Takes a lot of time. There was a lot of experimenting on myself, and we got there. And it was probably halfway through the process when Carl presented the idea of filming in real time and filming it as 80 different workouts. And actually, when he said that, I got super excited. I was like, wait, don't tease me. Like, are we really doing this or are we not? And he's like, I'm hoping, and the technology and da-da. And I was like, because it actually determines how I write these workouts, because there are certain things that I just can't put into play when I film 5 workouts, 7 workouts, or even 16 or 18 workouts. If you film those one time and put them on a disc, I can't do periodization. I can't build the way I want. I can do a little bit of it. I can't build quite the way I want to. But I also can't manipulate reps and sets the way I want to. And that's where true progress and progression happens in a workout. And that's how you really keep from plateauing. It's not just here's 16 different workouts. It's here's 6 workouts. But within these 6, let's manipulate them slightly so that you know what the movement patterns are and you learn them. But every week I challenge you differently, and I challenge you differently, and I challenge you differently. So 1, you're never getting bored, but 2, you're constantly pushing to a different level and being challenged. So when he said we were filming 80 days in a row, for sure, that's where all of, like I said, the periodization, the progressions, the fact that I was going to change up the rep patterns and the amount of weight that we were using, that's where all that came into play. And it really leads to a lot of fun, even within the workouts. You'll see myself and the cast really interact in a way. Beginning of workouts, we're all talking to each other and we're pushing each other. What are you lifting today? Well, what are you lifting? Okay, here's what we have. And what did we lift last week? And okay, we're going to challenge ourselves this week. And even, where it's like, oh, it's 2x15 this way. And we're all like, ah, or then it's 3x10 this way. And everybody's like, I love this version. So you'll see that there's going to be versions of the workouts that maybe you like one sort of pattern better than the other, which is also nice, because even if we're in a week where you're like, oh, I'm not a big fan of the 2x15. Well, it's just that week. Then you're going to circle on to a different pattern the next week. So you're like, oh, that's great. I get to move on to something else. And again, it's 80 workouts. It gives me a lot of time to cue. It gives me a lot of time to talk about different things and each day what you might be feeling. Like, hey, we just did da-da-da yesterday. We just did booty yesterday, and now it's cardio, and you have to use your legs again. So I can actually talk to you about what you're experiencing that day in that real moment. And even with the nutrition plan, because what a lot of people don't know yet, and because we haven't sort of taken a deep dive into nutrition, is that even the nutrition plan is progressive. It's not just here's the nutrition and this is exactly what you do the same thing every day for 80 days. Phase 1 has a different calculation than phase 2. There's a reason. We're building more muscle. We're really pushing, that sort of thing. So the calculation changes just slightly, but that slight change might change the bracket you end up in. We talk about how you're feeling a lot with your food, because this is the first time you might actually need to bump up a bracket. Like the deficit, the weight loss bracket might be too little food for you with the intensity of these workouts. And that might scare a lot of people, but within me filming for 80 days and talking to the cast every day and talking to them, and even I would go into the test group every day so I could get real-time feedback, because everything I would get from the test group I could take into the workout and be like, okay, I know what people are going through. I know what questions they're going to have. I can address them. Whereas before, when we filmed 21 Days Fix, it was like, great, here's 7 workouts. We're on set for 5 days. We're filming 2 a day. That's it. Like, I can only say so much in that 30 minutes, and I can't really address any questions because the test group wasn't going on at the exact same time. I had already run it. So just the fact that we've done 80 days of it has given so much freedom and I think so much life to the program that it really is going to feel like you stepped into the gym with us. And that was something that I said when I was told, okay, we were doing 80 days straight, I said, and even when our marketing team was saying, well, what are things that we can talk about? I said, you can tell people this is the first time they're really going to feel like they're stepping into the gym with me as their trainer. Like, there's 6 people in my background. These are the same 6 people. You're also going to watch me for the first time ever go rep for rep with my background people. If you watch 21 Day Fix or any of the other workout programs, I demo a move. I maybe do 4 or 5 reps and I go talk about everybody's form. With 80 Day Obsession, I had to be even more specific with the people I casted for the background. Not that we're not always, we are very particular because people have to hold up for these workouts. But this wasn't, oh, somebody has to hold up for 1 or 2 workouts. I needed my entire background cast to hold up for 80 workouts. Because I've actually had people say like, oh, why do you guys always have such fit people in the workouts? And I'm like, you guys, there is a reason behind this. Like, these people have to hold up for 80 days. I need that cast to be there to motivate you guys, inspire you guys, to help me. Like, if somebody goes out because they got sick or because they got injured, bringing a new person into that ecosystem would be very jarring. So yes, I do have to cast more fit people. Not only that, they have to, same thing. They have to be able to keep up with me right then and there. So if somebody was a little bit more out of shape and working towards getting in shape, there's nothing wrong with that. And you can absolutely do this program, but you might need to hit the pause button once or twice, and that's totally acceptable. But the people on set don't get a chance to hit the pause button, right? Like, they just have to go, and they have to work out when they're sore, and they have to work out when they're tired. So my point is that yes, they are super fit, but you'll still watch them make change. You'll still watch them make progress, and you will see me struggle in these workouts. There's tons of them where I'm just like, oh my gosh, what's going on? Like, this is so hard. I make fun of myself all the time. I always say, like, why did I put such hard moves in here? But it's super fun. And I think, like I said, I think it just brings life to the workout program.
I think Jen and I would have to agree. I think what we saw was a different version of Autumn. I think we felt like we could relate to you more. We felt like it was, the authenticity was there because we watched you be challenged. We watched you be silly. We watched you get serious and then silly. And I think that personal development, those little quotes you give to us, like they're different every day. Just like, but when you go to the old DVDs, it's the same ones. You could tune it out, but like you can't wait to hear what's next. So you do feel like you're on the journey. And I hear there's a weekly obsession thing that we didn't get to be a part of. So yeah. That sounds fun.
Yeah, Weekly Obsession was actually, it's essentially like a reality show that was shot behind the scenes while we filmed the whole thing. So, and you guys didn't get to be a part of it because it was shooting in real time, so they couldn't possibly edit it together that fast. But each week, so on Sunday, every Sunday an episode will come out, and it's about 15 minutes long, and it's myself and the cast every day sort of talking about what we went through that week. And they interviewed us every single day. So, and then it gets edited together to sort of be the shortened down version of what we went through that week and what you can experience or what you can expect to experience and what you're going to see happen. Or sometimes we're recapping something that sort of went awry in a workout or things like that. But it makes it really fun because, one, you get to know the background cast even more, so you can really sort of maybe find that person that you relate to, that you're following along with their journey. And you're like, yeah, I get it because I'm that person too. And you see, even in there, you see like my background cast went through a lot. you know, my sister had just moved here from Nashville. She's in there. She just went through a really bad divorce and had to move across the country to be here closer to family. And that comes out like she literally moved here, I don't know, 2 months before we started filming. And so she definitely went through her own journey and her own struggle. Another cast member also went through a really sort of horrible divorce. We went through Hurricane Irma and Mary, Hurricane, what, oh my God, my brain right now. Maria, gosh, sorry, my brain just went dead. We went through Hurricane Irma and Maria during that. My best friend was in Hurricane Irma. Lots of our coaches were in Florida. It was very devastating for me knowing that my best friend had just moved there and that she was stuck. But one of my background cast members, his family was there and they couldn't get out, and they were his parents. They're much older. So he was super concerned. It was like, Richardson, just sort of those 2 days, you just sort of, he's there and he's in the workout, but he's super serious. And it's crazy because he didn't tell me what was going on until after the fact that his family was there. But we all come together as a group to support each other and motivate each other. And what I like about that, not that I don't like that anybody was struggling, but what I like is that you guys can see real life happens to all of us throughout this journey. And if it's important to you, you show up and you do it no matter what, because certain things are just out of your control and it's going to happen and it's going to suck, but you can't let it suck the life out of you. You can't let it be so bad that it just knocks you down and you stay in bed and you don't deal with life. Use the workout as your time to process those emotions. Use it as that 1 hour that's maybe for you when you're dealing with everybody else and trying to help everybody else, whatever might be going on. Like, that's your time for you to do something good for you so that you can be healthier and in a better mindset when you go tackle a really intense situation like that. And you know what? You might cry through a workout. That's fine. You might throw up during a workout. That happens too. It's all fine. It's all a part of the process. And again, getting to watch the weekly obsessions, and I think the cast go through things like that, just makes it gives a little bit more of a sort of approval to be real and to not be perfect. Like, the background cast isn't perfect. I'm not perfect. And it gives you the ability to not have to be perfect either, but to just have to be consistent. And that's really, really important.
Awesome. So I have a question here that I thought would be awesome for you to answer. Karen asks,
yeah.
So she doesn't need to lose weight. She doesn't want to lose weight. She wants to lift her booty, flatten her abs, and tone up. How can she not lose weight? Karen, message me. I'll send you my results because I lost a half a pound, but I would love Autumn, but I look completely different. I'll let Autumn share the science and more about the nutrition and how that all works.
So it's funny because I have so many people messaging me being like, okay, I want to lose weight. So does this program work for me? Or somebody else going, well, I see that you're talking about building and shaping your butt, but my butt's big and I don't want to build, like, I don't want a bigger butt. I want a smaller butt. So should I not do this program? Or some people going, I don't really want to lose weight. I just want to tone up. So is this program right for me? Well, the answer is it's right for all three scenarios and every other one, because everybody's body is different, and how you train it and how you fuel it is really going to determine sort of what happens. So for the person who wants to lose weight, they're going to eat in the weight loss formula bracket. And because of how hard they're working out and the fact that they have weight to lose, their body is going to lose weight. If you're eating clean, you're eating in the right portions, and you're working out really hard, your body is going to lose weight because it has the weight to lose. Okay. For the person who doesn't want to lose weight, but just wants to tone up, you're going to eat in the maintenance bracket. And that's exactly what's going to happen, is that you're going to probably maintain that exact number, give or take a pound or two, because you're going to be building lean muscle and burning fat. So there's a little bit of an exchange that happens, but that's what's going to happen. You're going to watch your body tone up. To most people, I probably look the exact same throughout the entire workout, give or take if I was bloated from my time of the month or not. But I went from 107 pounds to 111 pounds by the end, because I put on a bunch, and that was my goal. Let me just actually say that. I was looking to put a little weight back on. I had lost some muscle mass from dealing with all of my stuff over the last 2 years with my gut health and all of that. So my goal was to actually come back up to my 109, 110 range where I sit comfortably. And that's exactly what happened. If you look at Jasmine in my cast, she is the African-American girl, beautiful. When she started 80-Day Obsession, you would have looked at her and just been like, well, there's nothing. She's perfect. And really, she was. She could have stayed just the way she is. Phenomenal shape. She's an ex-pro soccer player. She lost like 8 pounds on the program. You would have never imagined she had 8 pounds to lose. She didn't even go into the program thinking I want to lose 8 pounds. She went into the program like, I'm going to do this program. I'm going to crush it for you. I'm going to do whatever you say I should do. And that's what's going to happen. She's got like a big butt, which is fantastic. That's probably where she lost some of her size from though. And actually her butt is now probably a little bit more proportionate with the rest of her body. That's probably where she lost fat, not muscle. So it's still full, nice round booty, but it's more shaped. So it, like I said, it really is for everybody. If you already have a bigger butt and you're like, oh, I don't want it to stay big, I want to lose it, the fat will come off. Like, you know, when you have a bigger butt, that's fat. Like, I'm not being mean about it. I'm just being honest. That's what's happening. So as you do these workouts, you're going to burn fat. The thing is, you're going to replace with muscle, and that's where the shape and the form is going to come from. That's what's going to lift it up and that sort of thing. So you don't have to worry that you're going to end up looking like Kim Kardashian. Like, you're going to end up having a very nice proportioned body regardless of what your goal is. The biggest thing I want to say is I really don't want people focusing on the scale at all during this program. Like, maybe once or twice a month if you're getting on to sort of check your progress. And even then, whatever it says, I want it to just be a fleeting thought, because I cannot tell you how many people the scale just didn't move that much and yet they look completely different. Again, for me, the scale went up 4 pounds. You would never look at me and think that that's what happened. If you look at Tulin in the test group, who is a much larger woman and has a significant amount of weight to lose, she lost 3 pounds. She looks like she lost 30. I promise you, if you ask her, she'll tell you, and she'll be 100% honest. She's like, I don't give a damn what that number on the scale says. Like, I love the way I look. She's moved on to round 2. So clearly she doesn't feel like a negative experience from the number on the scale. She lost like almost 30 inches off her body. Who cares what the number on the scale says? She's lost almost 30 inches off her body. So those are all just really important things to be aware of, that especially as we get closer to the program coming out, and when it does come out, I will be reinforcing over and over and over again, whether it's on coach calls or on social media or whatever it is, that number on the scale is really just a number. It's just, you just can't let it affect you, because it'll make you stop the program before the true magic and beauty has started to happen if you get hung up on that number.
Thank you for.
I think what you shared with us, Autumn, was like, you're going to see that probably if you have weight to lose, fat to lose, you're going to see a lot of that fall off at first, the first few weeks. And then for me, I had quite a bit to lose. I didn't really lose after that, but my inches went down, my shape changed. I have a bigger booty too. Felt like it really rounded out, and I put on some of that muscle that you're talking about. So I second what you say there for sure.
Thank you. Yeah, that does happen a lot. And that's something I talked about. And you'll see, because there's also, just so you guys know, there's a lot of videos that we filmed that are actually teaching videos that go along with 80-Day Obsession that, again, the test group didn't get yet because we filmed them sort of in the process of. But me teaching how to use the nutrition guide step by step, all of that stuff is going to be available on Beachbody On Demand for your challengers, so that they don't feel like lost or anything like that with like, okay, what do I expect? But that is one thing that is very important, not just with 80-Day Obsession, but with any workout or any just fitness journey that you're on. When you first start working out and eating clean, you're going to drop a significant number in the first few weeks because it's a shock to your body. It's a change to your system. When your body adapts to that a little bit, it's going to slow down. It's going to slow down no matter what. It has to slow down. One, it's your body protecting itself, making sure that it's not in starvation mode, making sure that nothing bad is happening or anything like that. But two, let's say you lose 10 pounds in the first few weeks. You can't keep losing 10 pounds every 3 weeks. First of all, that's really unhealthy. And at a certain point, your body has to like level off for a minute. And that's what we see happen sort of in phase 2, is that your body sort of levels off a little bit. That doesn't mean progress isn't being made. It just means that number on the scale isn't necessarily dropping, but you're building lean muscle, you're burning fat, you're going to see the inches come down, all of that. Your endurance is being built up, your lungs, your heart, all that. And then in phase 3, the sort of magic kicks back in, and all of a sudden people started going, oh, wait, the number on the scale just dropped 5 pounds again. Like, oh, okay, my body got used to it. Like my body got a little shock again. So yes, the number on the scale doesn't matter. And there will be sort of ups and downs like this as you go through it. I see a lot of people asking, is there a vegan plan? Yes, there is a full vegan plan, to answer everybody that's posting about it.
Yeah, I have a lot of vegan, plant-based people on here. So if you want to talk about that, that'd be great. But I will say the bottom line is trust the process, because I know I pushed back a little bit when she was saying I had to move up a bracket. And I was like, are you sure? Can I eat this much food? I'm about Autumn's height. I'm 110 right now. I'm 5'2". And I can't eat C and all these, like, it seemed crazy to me. And she was like, just trust me. And I mean, praise God, I trust her because I sculpted amazingly. So would you mind sharing a little bit more about the vegan plan? I followed it, for the record, anybody who's curious. I did follow it, but would you like to share a little insight to those who are curious?
Yeah. So there is definitely a vegan plan. One of the guys in the background cast, Donald, is vegan. And so, and I did that on purpose. I purposely put a vegan in the program just so you guys could watch somebody go through it. But we were doing a vegan meal plan no matter what. And it is a little bit different, obviously, than the regular plan, because your reds are not all the same as ours. But it's there. It's very well thought out. You guys were using the containers. So it's still, let me back up for a second. A lot of people don't realize that the container system is a plant-based diet, but it is. If you think about the containers and how many containers you have and what goes in each container, it's a very plant-heavy diet. It's not vegan, it's plant-based. You have a green container, that's vegetables. You have a purple container, that's fruit. You have a blue container, that's healthy fats like avocado or nuts. Those are plants. You have an orange container that can be seeds. It can also be salad dressings. Salad dressings are usually made from like an olive oil or something like that. That's plant, okay? So like then you have your yellow container, which is healthy carbohydrates. Depending on what you choose, if you're doing quinoa, if you're doing rice, things like millet, those are plants. You have one container that can be animal protein. It's your red container. It is an extremely plant-heavy diet, which nobody really stops to think about because they see that they get 3 red containers, 4 red containers. So they're just like, oh yeah, that's what it is. But that's why so many health changes happen on when you're following Portion Fix, the container system, is that it is a plant-heavy diet. So just be aware of that, first of all. But yes, we have completely sculpted it to be the vegan plan where your reds count as, your beans count as a red, things like that. You have your tofu, you can have your tempeh, you can drink vegan Shakeology as one of your reds, things like that. And you're still going to see just as amazing results. There are a few things that I can't possibly do for vegans that do fall into the meal plan. So like the very last week of the meal plan where we do our carb cycling, and it's an optional way of eating for that week. Vegans can't follow it. You guys can't carb deplete. It's impossible. I mean, you have carbs as your reds. That's what it is. So, but so that's fine because again, your results are still amazing. So don't be concerned about that. But everything else, our refeed days, they're all there. They're all done with the containers, and it's a very well thought out plan, which I love for you guys as well. So there is that. I did see somebody just posted, is it keto? You guys, let me just, I'll try to keep this short. No, absolutely not. Let me just say this since we have coaches and challengers on here. You guys, please, I hope if anybody's following keto, I hope they don't get offended by this. If you follow a true keto diet because of a health reason or something like that, good for you. I'm glad that that form of eating is out there for people who have diabetes and things like that, or have seizures and they found that it helps with that and that sort of thing. But when you see these quick fix ads popping up of drink this keto shake to help you lose weight, nobody, like, it feels like nobody stops to do their research to understand what ketosis is and why it's weight loss and that sort of thing. But your body, if you take carbs out for long enough, basically creates these hormones that are called ketones, and that will eat fat as an energy source when you don't have carbohydrates. Drinking a fake supplement to put made up ketones in your body is not following a ketosis diet, because you haven't actually removed the carbs. Okay, so you're not doing the keto diet like everybody says. I'm on keto. No, you're not, because you didn't remove the carbs. The only way you're on keto is if you stop eating carbohydrates and really up your healthy fat. Okay, if you're just drinking this thing, you might as well go take Xenadrine or Speed or anything else, because that's essentially what you're doing. You're putting fake processed something into your body that your body didn't create to eat that fat. Okay, so again, if you're going to follow a real keto diet, that's fine, but then just follow that diet. You don't need to buy a supplement to drink, because your body will make the ketones that it needs to be in that process. But if you're doing it as just a way of you losing weight, just know chances are you're not going to stick with it. And I don't mean that to be mean, but cutting out carbohydrates, if you don't have a medical health reason to cut out carbohydrates, is not good for you. There's a part of your brain that only functions on carbohydrates. And the world we live in right now has nothing but temptations around us. So at some point, you're going to want to eat a piece of fruit. At some point, you're going to want to eat some rice or a potato chip or a French fry. If you've trained your body to only be thin, if you don't have that, the second you start putting it back in, you're going to blow up. So don't go for the quick fix. Don't go for the easy way out. Your body will adapt to that. And then the second you put those carbs back in, you're going to be in for a world of hurt, because you're going to have really messed up your system. Your body's not going to know what to do with it. And then it's shot to hell. That's why when you look at Portion Fix, it's not an elimination diet. I don't tell you guys, don't eat this, don't eat that. I tell you don't eat processed food that's not really food, but I don't cut out dairy. I don't cut out alcohol. I don't cut out chocolate, because that's not the world we live in. I'm going to show you how you can do it in a way that doesn't jeopardize your health and in a way that doesn't jeopardize your weight and your fitness goals. But some people function really well by eating dairy. Me personally, I don't. So for me, I don't eat it. But for somebody else, their body might really like it and do really well with it. We have billions of people in this world. Who am I to say what somebody else's body chemistry is or what might work for them? So instead, I take eat the healthy foods in the right portion sizes and just enjoy life. But don't put fake stuff in to try to burn the fat. That's just never a healthy plan. It's never a good option. I know that's not really about 80-day obsession at all. I went on my high horse for a second, but somebody asked, so I said it.
We'll take the rant. So we don't want to take up too much more of your time, but if there's anything else that you feel like you want people to know about the program, I don't know, like the timed nutrition, since that's new and that's going to be challenging for people. I don't know, anything that you feel like you want us to know or to be ready for coming into this?
Well, a couple of things. Let's just really quickly. So with the time nutrition, there's actually not that much to talk about with it, believe it or not. I know everybody's like, well, what is that? And how does it work? It's actually so simple. It's just me saying, these are the containers you combine together at this time. These are the next group of containers. These are the next group of containers. That's it, you guys. There's no mind blown thing. People ask me all the time, what should I eat before a workout? What should I eat after a workout? I'm telling you. I'm not telling you what to put in the containers. I'm just saying, you're going to put a red, yellow, green together at this meal. At this meal, you're going to put a red, yellow, green, blue together. At this meal, it's just a red and a purple. I'm just telling you which containers go together and how often you eat. So that's really the summing up of time nutrition. And the only reason I'm not going further into detail about it is because any more detail would just be giving you the exact program, and we're not ready for that yet. So just be ready for that. I keep getting asked about pregnancy, not just in your group, but everywhere. Guys, this is not a program for pregnant people. It's just not. It's way too intense. Heart rate jumps way too high. We're on our back quite a bit. There's a lot of moves that challenge your balance. None of those things are right to do during your pregnancy in this form. This is really intense. You can maybe stick with a little obsessed during pregnancy, 21-day fix. If you've been doing fix extreme for a while, you could even go there. But that would be as far as I would push with the intensity, but definitely talk with your doctor first. Save 80-day obsession for after having the baby, and I would say a few months after having the baby. I talk about self-care all the time in the program, and the fact that you need to make sure you're getting enough sleep and that you're fueling your body and you're doing things for you. When you have a new baby, it's not about you. It's about your new baby. So don't set yourself up to take on a program that really requires a lot of attention to be on you if you're not in that mindset. If your baby's not sleeping through the night, your body, and you're doing 80-day obsession, your body's not going to be recovering from the workouts properly. You're going to be miserable. You're going to be bloated. You're going to retain water. And then you're going to say it doesn't work. So just, it's there for you when you're ready to come to it. But when you have the baby, ease back in after your doctor's cleared you, start with 21-day fix or something like that, and just baby step it back in. I just want to say, as we lead up to the launch of 80-day obsession, obviously we're finishing up a little obsessed for the second time this week. We just finished filming yet again. And so make sure you guys, your challengers are doing it. If they start saying things to you like it's too easy or blah, 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 remind them that it's to prepare you for 80-day obsession. It's to teach you how to use the loops, how to use the sliders, like what the format's going to look like. 80-day obsession is going to be much more intense. After this week, they come down off bod till December 20th, but start getting people ready. Like as coaches, and I'm speaking sort of directly to the coaches right now, this is a great time for you to get your challengers involved in a group as we go into the holidays. Don't let them all fall off the face of the earth for the next 2 months and then step into January thinking they're going to be ready for 80-day obsession. They need to be working out right now most days of the week. So whether it's 21-day fix or chisel or fix extreme or any other program, just make sure that they're exercising because you need a base of fitness to take on 80-day obsession. If they've never tried the containers, now's the time to start teaching them. If you've sort of been wondering about the container system but haven't stepped into it yet, now's a great time to do it so that you get comfortable with them, you get comfortable with meal prepping. These are all things. It is an intermediate to advanced program. So here's the time to start with a beginner/intermediate and get yourself ready for the intermediate to advanced.
Well, thank you. I don't want to take up any more of your time, but there is a question about intermittent fasting. He asked if it's IF, and I said it's definitely not IF. And he said, can it be? So could you maybe speak to that as far as the time nutrition, like why not intermittent fasting for a program like this?
You guys, I don't prefer intermittent fasting. I know there are some people that just follow it as a way of life. And again, that's to each his own. Different ways of eating work for different people. The nutrition is meant to be spread out, sort of smaller meals throughout the entire day. It's what keeps your metabolism revved up. It's what keeps you burning throughout. You really are fueling your body for success. So what you eat before determines how hard you can work out during. What you eat after determines how quickly your muscles will repair. All those sorts of things. And then even what you eat throughout the rest of the day so that at night when you sleep, you're not eating into the muscle mass that you're trying to put on. And what I mean by that isn't mass like size, like Sagi. I just mean lean muscle. Like if you're going 12, 15 hours without eating, your body will start to pull energy from somewhere else. That's just a given. And again, I'm not saying intermittent fasting doesn't work. We did have somebody in our test group who sort of called me on the side and was like, I've done intermittent fasting for 14 years. This is my way of life, but I want to do the program. And I was like, I'm going to pretend like I didn't hear that. You do you, and because that's what works for you. I'm not going to tell you no, but please don't talk about it. I asked that person not to talk about it significantly during the test group because it's not an intermittent fasting program, and I would prefer people to follow it the way it's written for the first time. Kind of like I say with all my programs. The first time you ever do it, try to follow it as much to a T as it was written. And then if there's your own spin that you want to put on it, then you do it that way because then you know at least how it works the way it's written before you start sort of manipulating it.
Thank you so much, Autumn. You've given us 45 minutes of your time, and we really appreciate it. And like, I just want to acknowledge the time you gave to this program to be available for 80 days. I'm not sure if anybody would consider, like, you couldn't go anywhere, you couldn't travel, like you couldn't get sick, God forbid. Like, I was just thinking, like, dang, that is true commitment. And then when everything was wonky with a little obsessed, you committed to another week live. I mean, like, I just want to acknowledge, like, how awesome it is to see your true commitment to the program and to the results and to people. Like, it really is admirable, and we truly appreciate it. And the test group, like, I know Jen and I would just, she would like echo, like, we really felt like you cared, like this was your baby. You really want this to be successful. You want others to be successful. We feel it. And so thank you for being here with us. Thank you for your commitment to, like, 3 months, your life on hold, and then, kind of extending that with this sneak peek. We truly appreciate it. And the network as coaches who get to, like, share this product with others, which I think it's going to be revolution. I really do. I think it's really going to, like, rock the world. No one's ever done anything like this. I'm truly, like, excited to be a part of it, and excited to share it, and just really privileged to have it as a tool to help. So thank you again.
Guys, for seriously all of your commitment up to this point, for everybody that was in the test group and everybody that's even jumping on the call this morning and all of that, just to tune in and really get informed about what's coming so that you guys can continue to help people, because that's what it's really about. So it's been my pleasure being on, and I hope you guys have a great day. And I'm going to head to the next set. I'm going to film Fixate videos. So you guys have a great day, and we'll talk soon.
Thanks, Autumn.
Bye.
Bye.